Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Talk about surprise updates. It is Saturday evening now, and we just got a brand new patch note update for Black Ops 6 in Warzone that actually addresses a handful of pretty important things. And so today we are diving through all of these surprise update patch notes, starting first here on the multiplayer and zombie side of things. Then we'll jump over to the Warzone side as well, as we do dive into all the November 16th update patch notes. Quick reminder, if you're new to the channel, every single day I got you guys covered with all the latest news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns. If anything is ever going on in COD and you need to know about it, I got you covered. So feel free to hit that subscribe button. We are working towards 1 million subscribers. We're less than 25,000 away now, so if we could hit that before the end of the year, that would be absolutely insane. And of course, if you enjoy the video, a like rating is always seriously appreciated as well. Help share the video around to new viewers for what it's worth. But diving into these patch notes here, a couple of global updates, actually just one global update with cosmetics on the SOG Mastercraft, the Mecha Drake that was in the store. They addressed an issue where the optic reticles would be misaligned on the Mecha Drake. So this is actually an issue if you put on like a red dot or a 2x whatever, it wasn't actually lined up and centered. So you if you were going for like headshots or something, trying to get your camos done on it, it just wouldn't work. It would be way more inefficient to have an optic on than just have the iron sight. So nice that they were actually super quick with that. If you did buy that blueprint and wanted to use like a reticle or a scope on it, it was almost pay to lose in a sense. So they were pretty quick on that. Now diving into some multiplayer stuff here on Babylon, they address an out of the map exploit, and then same deal on extraction as well. With weapon updates, they addressed an issue that applied incorrect damage and tunings to rifles and SMGs. We talked about this one in one of their Twitter posts the other day, just talking about how that was like an early update. They say this was actually released on the 15th around 6 p.m. Pacific time. So that one's been live for a bit, but now it's official in their patch notes. They also have adjusted Ransack XP earn rates to align with other game modes there. So if you've been playing a lot of Ransack since that dropped with season 1, the XP was a little bit off there for whatever reason, but that now should be more standard. Then they also included numerous stability fixes. Again, I've said it before, I'll say it again here. I wish they were specific with this stuff. Are they doing stability updates on the menu, like where I back out to the main menu or try and go in between zombies and multiplayer? I get crazy bad stutters there. Are they fixing that? Are they fixing something in game? Is it a specific thing on a certain map or mode that's got stability issues? What exactly is going on with that? Is it XP token stability issues? If you know, you know. I would love extra details there. So far, all they've ever done is those ambiguous. We've done some stability fixes, and they're not really ever specific there. We also have some zombies update patch notes for some pretty important ones. Like the first one here, address an issue where players could not reload while tack sprinting. Keep in mind, this is also an issue over in Warzone as well a lot of the time, but they do say we have identified multiple issues with reloading and player movement in zombies. A fix for the player being unable to reload while tack sprinting has gone live, while a slowdown in speed when reloading while sprinting is still being investigated. So this is basically a two-part issue here. Part of it is just straight up reloading while tack sprinting. Other parts of it are actually being much slower than you should be when you're sprinting. So they are going to fully fix that at some point, but that update is not fully out yet. Just the issue with tack sprinting and reloading there has been addressed. They also say they addressed an issue where the Casimir skins would not actually be visible in a match, and addressed an issue where a Casimir could be equipped in a starting loadout. For UI, they addressed an issue where the prompt to open the gobblegum menu would disappear after opening it for the first time. Obviously a big issue there. And then with stability here, they addressed an issue in reaching 1,000 kills on the time of death charm would result in low performance when the weapon is held. So if you had that on, it actually was hurting your game. That's kind of a crazy glitch there. I wonder how they found that out, like if that was a super obvious one or just so happened they stumbled across that. Regardless, nice to see that that was fixed. Now let's jump over to the Warzone patch notes where we also have some pretty interesting updates. So here we've got our Saturday, November 16th update, and right away they are talking some big ones here with audio. They say they fixed several issues with occlusion, enemy footstep, ascender, and parachute audio. So this is huge. For one, enemy footstep audio is basically non-existent, or has been basically non-existent. There could be players running on top of you on various surfaces, concrete, metal, dirt, you name it. They were just not audible whatsoever. You could not hear when players were next to you. Ascender audio, someone would zipline next to you and sometimes it was audible, sometimes it was not whatsoever. Parachute audio, players could land right on you and you would have no idea unless you got the enemies dropping into your VO line, right? So really nice that they've actually gone through and fixed several things here. They do have a note though saying our teams are hard at work on additional audio updates, and this is just the first of several steps we're taking to improve the Warzone audio experience. So if you're jumping on after you end up doing this update, it is just like an update requires restart one, and you still notice, well, the footsteps aren't that consistent. There's still some issues here and there. It's still going to be updated more and more, and hopefully it's a good starting point. We'll have to get in game and test and see, and then it just continues to improve, or it just fixes like a couple specific things. Then their next audio update is an even more significant one, and then after that it's even better and better, and hopefully just continues to improve, and there's not many setbacks there. They also say they fixed an issue where the stim shot was giving double the desired speed boost for 3 seconds. Bit of a bummer here. The stim should now give you a 15% movement speed for 1 second. The stim ticks up to the speed, holds it for 1 second, and then ticks down from this speed. Rather than being like crazy good for movement, it's now going to be very temporary, a lot shorter than it was there. So you'll notice that if you pop a stim now, you're trying to break some cameras, break some ankles in game, it's not going to have the same effect as it did, you know, an hour ago if you were playing then, right? They also say they fixed an issue that prevented freshly downed players from taking damage for a brief moment. So funny enough, I've got my Warzone review video and initial honest impressions and all my criticisms coming up in probably the next few days. Depends on how many updates they keep pushing out and how much content I have to shift around. But one of my big complaints was this downed immunity was crazy. I'm curious to see if this is fully fixed, if you're now able to instantly finish players with knives and combat axes, if you're able to instantly get shots into a downed player, or if there's any amount of immunity time like there is maybe in the kill order mode in multiplayer. If you knock the HVT in that, they still have that split second of downed immunity there too, and it almost felt like that was live in Warzone here. So I'm really curious to see if that's fully fixed, if there's any state of immunity there happening when you do end up knocking a player. They also fixed an issue on PlayStation 5 where attempting to install Warzone from the managed files section would result in a content not found error. I've seen a lot of you posting comments about this, so really good news there that that's now been updated. They fixed an issue causing players to encounter a looping armor plate replacement animation where you'd put plates in forever and ever, so nice to see that that's fixed as well. They fixed an issue that allowed players to use the Gulag Ascender prior to overtime. I haven't played much Big Map yet, but that's actually hilarious. When you're in the middle of a fight, the overtime's not started, and your enemy's leaving, you know, just dipping out mid-match. Hey, I gotta go, you know, something's going on at home, I gotta dip out early. Pretty funny to run into, but obviously a bug nonetheless that's now been fixed. Fixed an issue that caused players to gain more experience than intended from boot camp. Well, that's a bummer. So if you were cheesing boot camp and getting a ton of XP and levels out of that, of course it's the no fun detected zone there. They gotta quickly go through and nerf that. They don't want you getting too much XP because then you might level up too quick and then get off the game too fast, right? They also fixed an issue where dying while attempting to complete a signals intelligence contract would result in being unable to use the weapon or interact with items. So it would just break your entire game basically there. If you're a big signals intelligence fan in game and you're spamming those contracts, you're probably running into that one quite a bit, but good news is that's now been updated. They also fixed an issue preventing weapon XP boost from appearing in the post-match summary. So kind of an interesting niche one there, but an important one nonetheless. They also fixed an issue that was preventing players from accessing Warzone via the Call of Duty main menu. I think this is the one where you'd basically just be in an infinite loop. You'd try and click on the Warzone tab, and it would just stick you into a loop of fetching online profile, fetching stats, fetching data, whatever the prompt was, and it wouldn't actually let you get into the menu even, so you could start creating loadouts or queuing into some resurgence or plunder or whatever. Saw a lot of comments about that one as well. So basically just a bug fix update, but also some interesting updates to the stims and our very first significant audio updates for Warzone as well. So definitely a surprise update with what time is it? 6:51 p.m. on a Saturday evening. I'm trying to watch some football and we got patch notes going, but nonetheless some interesting changes. If you enjoyed the video, a like would be really appreciated, and if you're new to the channel, you want to guarantee that every single day you are in the know for all things going on in COD, be sure to hit that subscribe button on your way out. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.